He held out the peanut butter sandwich. The alligator slowly lumbered out of the water, its massive jaws opening and closing lazily, revealing rows of sharp, gleaming teeth. Hey, don't worry about it. You don't belong here. You belong in the water. Maybe you do belong here, but we were here first. Fair is fair, you scaly beast. Gus, the negotiator, still attempting to establish diplomatic relations with the reptile. Suddenly, the alligator lunged, snapping its jaws. Gus cried out, barely recoiling. All right, Skipper. Skipper, now, you stand back. I'm going to answer to the United States Navy, and that's an order. This is my sandwich. You thief. Gus cried, wrestling with the reptile, a desperate struggle for a humble sandwich. Wait a minute. Eating in offices, a federal offense. You scaly scoundrel. A crime against the very uniform, I tell you. Gus struggled valiantly, eventually falling over as the alligator, having devoured the sandwich, emitted a satisfied burr. Skipper, chuckle. What's the matter, boy? What's the Hey, Chuck. How'd you get into this? He was eating my peanut butter sandwich. Skipper, you got to do something. How about I do something, Al? Chuckle. Chuckle. Then draw your gun. Draw your gun. Gun. For the peanut butter. Chuckle. Chuckle Higgins, who had just arrived with Kelsil and the rest of the crew, quickly drew his pistol, a look of profound confusion on his face. All right, you little pipsqueak. Now you're going to get it. That's Commander Grumbles' lunch. Oh, no. Look, Skip. He's picked up Mr. Whiffle's gun. Gus exclaimed, horrified, pointing a trembling finger. The alligator, having devoured the sandwich, had indeed snatched Pipkin Whiffle's service pistol, which Gus had inadvertently left nearby. The gleaming firearm looked ludicrously small in the reptile's. Bring it back to him, you scaly fiend, Kelsil commanded, cautiously approaching the alligator. Like a trained man. Hey, Skip, he likes me. He's smiling. Careful, boys. Maybe indigestion, Gus? Yeah, probably somebody he ate recently. Easy does it now. Easy. Boy. Nice boy. Nice boy. Gave him back his gun. How about that? A friendly alligator. Kelso looked at his bewildered crew, trying to make sense of the situation. Gus, relieved that his gun was retrieved, asked, Skip, can we keep him as a mascot for the boat? A mascot for Torpedo Tube 73. Imagine the terror he'd strike into the hearts of our enemies. Skip, he's a natural-born deterrent. Mascot, Kelso repeated, completely aghast. His face a picture of disbelief. Are you kidding? No. Really? Skip, I ain't got a name for him. He looks like an old cousin of mine. We can call him Sydney. Sydney, the amphibious mascot. Commander, it's perfect. Sydney, can I keep Skip? Can I? Willie the Whale Wiggins pleaded, already forming an emotional bond with the creature. How about Skip? Gus said, looking at the creature. Look at the size, man. We can make a fortune. Skip. Hey, you know what they're getting for alligator shoes these days? Enough to buy a small island and retire early. Don't do it, Sydney. Gus, Kelsiel roared, realizing the mercenary thought process. Forget what I said. Look at me. I wear sneakers, for crying out loud. All right, son. I apologize. Hey, watch out. Look at the little teeth. Down. He nudged the alligator gently with his foot, and to everyone's astonishment, Sydney quietly settled down. Oh, that's what I like, Kelsiel declared, looking at the alligator who was now calmly chewing on a piece of mangrove root, seemingly content, a nice, peaceful luau. And no one trying to take my money, thank heavens. Meanwhile, Commodore Boffington was pacing furiously through the very mangroves Kelsol had just vacated, muttering to himself, convinced that Kelsol had absconded with the base payroll. Lieutenant Elroy Phibbs trotted along behind him, still holding his notebook of serial numbers, looking profoundly uncomfortable. Darn it, Boffington fumed, swatting at a mosquito. There's nobody here. Not a pickpocket in sight, just the rustling of leaves and the buzzing of insects. Oh, good sir. Now can I have my money back? The marked bills you stole from me. He jabbed a finger at Phibbs, accusingly. Boffington whirled on Phibbs, momentarily forgetting his larger grievance. Well, just stop with the money back. Phibbs, never mind that. You'll get your money back at the court. Lieutenant, come on. Wait a minute. Maybe it's just as well those pirates aren't here. I've got a better idea. Phibbs. Phibbs gulped, his face paling. Buffington's better ideas usually involved elaborate schemes that ended in his own humiliation. Oh dear, what fresh torment awaits me, sir. I will just drop my wallet somewhere around here where they can find it. Very easily, Buffington declared, his eyes gleaming with malicious intent. Then when they pocket the money, wham! We've got them! Oh, it's brig time for Kelso and his entire criminal enterprise. This will be the perfect, inescapable trap. Phibbs. Buffington rubbed his hands together with a truly malevolent glee. Sir, couldn't I keep one bill? Phibbs pleaded, his voice cracking, seeing his dowry money about to be sacrificed. Just one, sir. For my engagement ring, it's a matter of the heart, sir. Stop with that sibling, Phibbs, Buffington snapped, annoyed, dismissing Phibbs's romantic aspirations. I'm telling you, you're doing this for the Navy, a vital intelligence operation. Perfect spot. He carefully placed his wallet, prominently containing the marked bills and his ID card, right in the middle of a well-worn path. I can't miss it there, huh? We've got the cheese in the trap. Now all we have to do is go back to the base and wait for the rats to come home. You know, Elroy, this is the happiest day of my life. My greatest triumph. Elroy Phibbs, looking profoundly miserable, forced a weak smile, which was more of a grimace. Utterly delightful. Sir, well, stop giggling, Phibbs, and come on, boys, Buffington ordered, completely misinterpreting Phibbs's grimace. He marched triumphantly back towards his office, convinced his trap was inescapable, and Kelso's fate was sealed. Hours later, Commander Kelso and his crew returned to the Torpedo Tube 73 lair, utterly oblivious to Buffington's elaborate trap. They were boisterous and cheerful after their unauthorized shore leave, the taste of forbidden fruit still fresh in their mouths. Well, that was a real blast, Skip, Gus Grumbles declared, wiping sweat from his brow, still buzzing from the excitement. Wonderful, what an evening of illicit delights and daring escapades. All right, you play, boys, Kelso chuckled, kicking off his shoes. Listen, let's get out of these party duds, because you never know when you know who will pay us a surprise visit, so let's go for it. Men, change back into our humble uniforms before Buffington descends upon us. I'll tell you what, Nichols, Willie the Whale Wiggins said, addressing an imaginary well, I still don't know why we couldn't have brought Sidney back as a mascot. He was so charming, and he likes peanut butter. Skip, a very docile, companionable creature. Kelso turned, a slight frown on his face. Well, now I'll tell you why, Willie, because if one of our crew is missing, I don't want to have to take Sidney down to the infirmary to have Max raise well. You can imagine, a very embarrassing situation for our medical staff. What are you going to do out there? He looks so lonely and well. All right. Okay, don't worry about it. You can visit him every Sunday and bring him all the peanut butter sandwiches you want. You big softy. Willie's face lit up like a lighthouse. Hey, Skip, boy, that's great. Hey, that's really decent of you. I'm going to write a letter to my mother and ask her for some more peanut butter. Here, Mom, I made a new friend today, and his name is Sidney, and he likes your peanut butter, Mom. Suddenly, a familiar green snout poked through the doorway, its ancient eyes blinking lazily. Sidney the alligator, with an air of immense satisfaction, lumbered into the lair, carrying something in his mouth. Oh, hi, Sidney, Gus cried, startled, his eyes widening. What are you doing here, old boy? Oh, boy, it's a skipper cutter. Mary, you followed us home, you sly dog. He pointed at the object in Sidney's mouth. Hey, what do you got in your mouth? Boy, easy. Boy, a wallet. What are you doing with a wallet, Sidney? Gus snatched the wallet from Sidney's jaws. His eyes widened in horror as he read the ID card inside. Captain Wallace Buffington. Oh boy, not you. Skip. Captain Buffington, Sidney. He ate the captain. The entire crew gasped, a collective intake of breath. Willie clutched his chest, his face turning a sickly shade of green. Oh, boy, we've been in trouble before, but we'll never eat the captain. That's a whole new level of insubordination, Gus. That's a court-martial offense of the highest order. Gus raced to Kelso, waving the wallet. I'm gonna see the skipper. Whoa! Skipper, Sydney's back.